Well, from the very beginning, people have teed off on the Tea Partiers. They've been marginalized, mischaracterized, criticized, and worse.
As this so-called political movement has such a racist element at its base.
We call it AstroTurf. It's not really a grassroots movement.
The groups are not necessarily representative of America.
I think they're AstroTurf.
And you see folks waving tea bags around.
Well, 2.5 years ago, we discovered these folks are not red or blue. They are about green. The government spending too much green.
These are Republicans, these are Democrats, these are conservatives, these are liberals.
How do you guys feel when it's been likened to a Republican protest? This is a conservative protest.
We're registered independents. We're registered independents.
I was a lifelong Democrat. The principles that our forefathers laid down were not the ones that this administration were abiding in.
Are you a Democrat or Republican?
I'm an independent.
I've been with them all over the country. Anna Puig from the Kitchen Table Patriots, Mark Meckler from the Tea Party Patriots, both joining me right now. Guys, good to have both of you. Anna, to you first, what do you make of this sort of, oh, we didn't mean to offend you approach on the part of the Republican Party establishment today?
I'm just quite frankly so tired of the Republican Party not embracing the Tea Party movement. We're here to stay. We have proven that we are effective, that we have teeth, that we're gonna be here for the long haul, and they need to embrace us, or we're gonna be forced to find another home, and we don't want to do that.
Mark, I don't know if the love was real. I'm sure Congressman Pence, has high affections for you guys, but I did not get that same reading covering the primaries coming in last night. What's your sense?
I'm not tired of it. This is what I expect. I don't expect to come home to the Republican Party. I don't expect them to embrace us. The Tea Party is here. They're an independent force. They're separate from the Republican Party. We're going to act like they don't, which is according to principles, the principles of fiscal responsibility, constitutionally limited government, and free markets. We're going to do that regardless of party. We don't really care about the Republican Party, Neil.
All right, so Anna, will you be as tough on Republicans should they assume power as you've been relentless in attacking Democrats with them in power?
Absolutely. This is what the Tea Party movement is all about. We are aligned with the Republican Party right now because they are the lesser of the two evils. But once we put them these candidates in power, we are going to keep their feet to the fire. But I do believe, Neil, to talk about what Mark just mentioned, I do believe that we need to align ourselves with the Republican Party right now in order to have a big win in November.
Do you feel that way, Mark? Because I've talked to other Tea Parties who said, well, we'd rather lose on principle than win just with the letter R.
Yeah, respectfully, I have to disagree with Anna. We're not aligned with any political party. We have no intent of aligning with any political party. Neil, Tea Party Patriots now has over 2,800 chapters across the country, and I can tell you very few of them feel like they are aligning with the Republican Party. We will vote on values, and in November, the victory will be for the American people, not the Republican Party.
Well, Mark, to that point, and I do want to get to this with you as well, Anna, but Mark, on that point, Christine O'Donnell, the rap against her in taking the Republican Senate on in Delaware is that she could never win in a very Democratic state. And that's the reality, that a Tea Party favorite will go down to crashing defeat for a cause you might believe in, but a Democrat who ends up getting the seat.
So I would say exactly two words to that, and those words are Scott Brown. And I think people need to remember and think very carefully before they make ridiculous statements like that.
Are you referring to Scott Brown, who won Ted Kennedy's Senate seat in Massachusetts? Anna...
which was impossible.
Which was impossible. But, Anna, Mark mentioned Scott Brown, and he was with the president after he got in on some key spending initiatives. So some Tea Partiers expressed disappointment with Senator Brown. Do you?
Disappointment, yes. On my part, yes, disappointment towards Scott Brown. However, you have to remember that he represents Massachusetts, and we can't expect Massachusetts to turn 100% conservative overnight. It's not going to happen. And what I mean, Neil, as aligning with the Republican Party is we need to work together right now. We've had our differences in the primary. We have had the Tea Party movement has had its wins in the primaries. Christine O'Donnell is a perfect example. And now it's time that the Republicans embrace us and put all the force that they were using against her in the primary. Now it's time to put that to work to get her elected in November. That's what I mean by aligning ourselves.
All right, but it's
together.
not as if you guys always strike gold. You strike mostly gold, and a lot of your candidates, in fact, most of them do win. But some disappointment at this hour, I guess, in New Hampshire that the Republican candidate, Lana Tonier, has just conceded that race, a very close race, to try to succeed Judd Gregg in New Hampshire. What do you think about that, Mark, and the fact that sometimes the party message doesn't get through?
I think that's called electoral politics. Nobody ever wins 100% of the time. Nobody has that expectation. If you look at the batting averages, I think folks that support Tea Party values are winning an extraordinary amount of time, perhaps historically unprecedented. So I'm very pleased with the results we're seeing this primary season.
Guys, thank you both. We'll be watching it, as we say, very, very closely. And by the way, then there is